Today we're going to look at the HTML1 rubric assignment, and this rubric includes the creation of your very first web page, which is very exciting. We are going to be namely looking at your file and folder structure, making sure that you call your first page by the proper name, which is index or default.html, making sure that you know how to name your files properly, making sure that you can put an image on your page and have it show up, teaching you about some of the basic HTML tags and how to format some text, and also how to make external and internal links, though only external links is currently on your rubric. So the first thing that you're going to need to do is open up a text editor. Now if you're using a Windows machine, I want you to use Notepad. Right here I'm using a Mac machine, so I am using Text Wrangler. Notepad is native on Windows machines. It should be in your applications folder inside the utilities. And Text Wrangler, I gave you a link inside of the module, so you can go ahead and download that. Later in the unit, or in this class, we're going to be using Dreamweaver. I don't want you to use that right now because I don't want you to be too dependent on some of the crutches that it gives you. In the future, you will find a text editor that is specific for HTML, like Dreamweaver or Sublime, or there's so many of them out there on the internet, but since we are pretty much Adobe focused in this program, we'll be looking at Dreamweaver. But I don't want you to do that yet because it makes it too easy. So here I have open Sublime Text, and yours is going to look something similar to that. But before we even get into anything like this, the very most important thing you need to do is create a folder. Everything that you create for your website has to be contained within one folder. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a new folder here, and it's right here. I'm going to title it I will go ahead and title it HTML1 Rubric. You may find in this class that you build from one project to the next. So your HTML1 project may become your HTML2 project, may become your CSS project, and that's okay. Building is all right. Though then again, repeating the things over and over again, like today you're going to learn page structure. The more often you do page structure and create pages, the more reinforced that skill becomes. So starting projects over is not a bad thing either. I don't mind if you build, but for your own practice, starting over is not a bad thing. So I made my folder, and inside of here I can go ahead and I can create another folder. Now for this one, since this is going to be a very simple web page, I'm going to go ahead and call that images. Images. Now as I get more complex folders, I can really create any kind of folder structure that makes sense to me. Typically on a more advanced site, I'm going to have a distribution folder, a folder called dist. Inside of that I'll have my cascading style sheets and images and scripts and things like that, but that's a ways off. Right now, really organize it any way that makes sense to you, but do organize it. I'm going to be checking to make sure that you actually do have some folders in here, or at least one called images, and that you're organized, because organization is the key, one of the many keys to very good web design and web development. So make sure that you do that. Okay, so now that I have my folder going on here, oh, you can see I just downloaded a new Text Wrangler. That's where you get that. Let's go ahead and pop open Text Wrangler. Now this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to save it as directly. I don't even have anything on it. And I'm going to save it into my HTML folder. And I'm going to call it default. And I'm going to change, actually, see how it says .txt? I'm going to get rid of that too. A common pitfall that I see a lot of people have is they will check their file and it won't open in a browser, and that's because it's called like default.html.txt. That's a common issue. So make sure that you actually look after you save your file to see what your ending is, to make sure you don't have that TXT sneaking on. Now I'm calling this default, or I could also call it index, because that is what a server knows what to look for. If I called this page 1, then I would have to actually type that page1.html at the end of my web address or my URL. But servers know to look for default HTML, and they know to look for index.html. Also notice here that I didn't use any capitals. There are no capital letters here, and that's important because a lot of servers, not across the board, but a lot of servers are case sensitive. So get in the habit of just using all lowercase letters. It's going to save you a lot of heartache in the end. So I save that. And now I can start my page. So this is my very first web page. How exciting. And the first thing you need to do when you type out a website is you need to have your HTML tags. This lets the server know that you're working in HTML. It knows how to interpret it. Now, as you get further along, there's going to be some other tags that you're going to get in here. You may have in the document type, different information like that, but for this first assignment, we're not going to worry about that.